Scott Larian Studios is working on providing Baldur's Gate 3 mod support across all platforms, not just PC. That's right, PC dorks, get it hoarded all over there. David Carcassell over at PSU. Larian Studios has confirmed that it's been working on official mod support for Baldur's Gate 3 across all platforms, quote, for a while, end quote, and that is coming at some point down the pipeline. Gee, thanks. There's no clue given as to a release window of when this will be ready beyond sometime this year, but fans can rejoice in knowing that it is indeed will be available, hopefully someday soon. The studio's director of publishing, Michael Doust, confirmed the news on Twitter in a quote tweet for the game's latest patch notes. Quote, "We generally don't talk about things till they're ready," end quote, said Doust. Quote, "But as you may have read, we're making an exception. We've been working on a robust cross-platform plan for mod support to be released later in the year. We love our modding community and we want to support them. It's coming," end quote. Exciting news for all players, though particularly for those on consoles, since console players are often left out of mod support, with that mostly being a feature only seen on the PC versions of the games. Quote, "We have a system, but it needs to be tested and still requires work," end quote. Doust continued in a follow-up tweet, quote, "We're excited about it. I understand that it sucks when the game is updated and mods break. Our community teams will start talking with and looping in modding community. For now, work continues," end quote. Scott, what are your thoughts?
Oh, it's pretty cool that they're actually supporting. I'm sure they've heard a huge amount of feedback. Yeah. There's some kind of strange mods out there that I've seen. Given the game's content matter, it can get a little strange. But I think that's well intended to support that kind of community, and it'll bring another influx of players that maybe have been waiting on the outside so far. Myself, I haven't jumped into Baldur's Gate 3. I'm not certain that I will, regardless of mods. It's just not my kind of game. Yeah. But I know a lot of people have put a lot of time into it, and this is just an excuse they don't need to jump back in again.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think this is cool. I love that they're supporting the community. Again, something that Michael doesn't normally comment on is like, hey, we're working on it. So yeah, it's coming. Just be patient, right? It's one of those things. Don't hassle us. We're working on it. It's going to come when we get to it, and that it works. Because the last thing they want to do, Scott, put out a patch, break the game, right? And then that just puts the community up in arms. And that's the last thing they want to deal with. They just want everybody to be happy and experience other cool things that the team haven't been able to get to or hasn't even thought of, right? When you get into that modding community, dude, sky is the limits when it comes to that. Well, some of them remarkable things I've seen, nuts.
This is a game that lands into the Dungeons and Dragons D&D kind of universe, and it has that kind of feeling behind it. All of those games, D&D, you have a dungeon master, they can make their own rules, and that's very much part of the whole spirit of the game. So this makes perfect sense.
Absolutely. Like when you get into some of the mods, they're just incredible what people think of. Like, dude, Skyrim, the mods in that, nuts.
I played a game of Skyrim as Knuckles from Sonic.
The latest one I think of is Mortal Kombat and the Disney characters. I was just like, yo, what is happening here? It's hilarious to think of, right? And to watch, it was funny. But yeah, I think this is great. Larian Studios obviously came out with the Game of the Year last year with Baldur's Gate 3. It's an incredible standout. One, like yourself, Scott, that it's that combat, the D&D that I've never really been able to get into. So I've been so terrified to jump in as much as I want to jump in, because the story is one of the best that's ever been around. And I'd love to experience the story. I wonder if there's just a way I can just walk through the story. You know what I mean? It's almost like a walking sim. Yeah, let me just walk through that and somebody else do all the combat, and I can just experience the story. But I think this is great.
Well, it is a D&D kind of game. You can probably find a really weird cheese angle to play. Telephone poles plus crossbow.
Oh, man. Yeah.
You win the game.
Maybe. You never know. We'll see what those mods look like. But yeah, look for something soon, hopefully, within the next few months.